Hi there. So let's just take a look at our first two examples to support our reflection. I will just share my screen if I could and introduce you to our first model. This first model is the ERA model, the ERA cycle. This is a fabulous but simple tool to support you with your own personal self-reflection. But equally, along with our second tool, which I'll introduce in a moment, you could use this as a model to elicit reflection and interaction if we were mentoring a colleague. But let's just talk through the ERA cycle. The cycle starts with an experience, either something we've been through before or something completely new to us. This experience can be positive or negative, and it may well be related to our work or indeed something else in our private lives, perhaps. Once something has been experienced, we will start to reflect on what happened. This will allow us to think through the experience. It'll help us to examine our feelings about what happened and decide on the next steps. This leads to the final element of the cycle, which is about taking action. What we do as a result of the experience will be different depending on the individual. But this action will result in another experience, and therefore the cycle can then continue. But I'm sure you can see that this could be a great way for you to either self-reflect, thinking about experience, and then the actions that you take from that experience, or to use as a method of prompting and stretching our particular clients in support. The next model is the Driscoll model, and this is again another simple model, but it asks us to ask three questions: what, so what, and now what? So you can see this is following a similar pattern. But within this, by asking ourselves these three simple questions, we can begin to analyse and learn from our experiences. Firstly, we should describe what the situation or experience was to set it into some form of context. This gives us a clear idea of what we're dealing with. We should then reflect on the experience by asking, well, so what? What did we learn as a result of the experience? The final stage asks us to think about the actions we will take as a result of the reflection. Will we change by behaviour, try something new, or carry on as we were before? It's important to remember that there may be no changes as a result of reflection and that we feel that we're doing everything as we should. This is equally as valid as an outcome, and you should not worry if you can't think of something to change specifically at that time. But what I love about this is it enables us to think individually. It'll enable us to think as a thinking part with a thinking partner, but it'll also enable us to perhaps start using journaling or some of the modelling or other artistic ways of thinking about the questions that we're posing. So these are the first two simple models that will help us in reflection. Thanks for listening, and I'd hope at some point we can look further and see other models that we may want to progress to.